Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Naya here again. I'm an esthetician here in the Atlanta area, for some of you who may not know. And I decided to get back on here today to talk about skincare products that you can purchase on a budget. Because a lot of skincare nowadays that is supposed to be like the best top skincare is really expensive. And I just wanted to talk about some products that I recommend to my clients that are inexpensive, affordable, over-the-counter kind of stuff that I'm going to recommend. So first off, let's talk about what the skincare regimen looks like, a skincare regimen looks like. And the order, and this is going to be Skincare 101. This is what we've learned in school, in aesthetic school, which I went to Christine Valmy School for Aesthetics in New York. A wonderful school for anyone out there who's looking for a school to attend. It was one of the best times of my life. So shout out to Christine Valmy. They trained me well. We did a lot of hands-on. They had wonderful teachers there, and I follow them on Instagram. So some of those amazing teachers, they are still there. So I'm not gonna make this video too long. I just wanna talk about the steps of skincare maintenance. And those steps are gonna be your cleansing, your toning, your exfoliation at least twice a week, and your serum, moisturizer, and daytime protection. So even when I was in school, we didn't really talk about serums too much, but just keeping it basic. It's going to be cleanser. After cleansing, you're going to exfoliate your skin. And after exfoliation, you are going to tone your skin. And then after toning, you are going to put on your moisturizer and or daytime protection. And of course, if it's nighttime, you're going to do your nighttime moisturizer, right? So let's start with cleanser. So right now, you know, there's a lot of cleansers out there that are probably really good, but I'm just gonna go with the ones that I recommend to my clients because I feel like they are decent products that I've used in the past, and it'll hold you over until you get the better products. So let's start with the cleanser. Usually when my guests come in, they might buy like a really expensive toner or a really expensive serum, and I'll tell them, hey, just cut corners and go ahead and use like your CeraVe cleanser. So I'll recommend CeraVe cleansers a lot. Of course, going according to your skin type. So after I do their skin analysis and we assess whether they are sensitive, oily, dehydrated, we'll go from there. But keep in mind, there are a lot of other brands that maybe cost like about $10 to $20 more than your CeraVe cleanser. And the products that I like to use will be like Peter Thomas Roth. I love Peter Thomas Roth. Peach and Lily. I love Peach and Lily products. And I also love, like I said before, Gemologica is like my #1 most used product. And another hack is getting like the small products, which you can buy at Ulta. So a lot of your more expensive products, they're more concentrated. So to hold you over, you can always get the mini size, travel size ones, which are like $18, sometimes $12, $15. And a little goes a long way because a lot of people don't realize they're overusing their products. So definitely utilize the smaller travel size products. But CeraVe is like the one that I always tell everyone that's the go-to. After you cleanse, you want to exfoliate. So for years, I'm not gonna lie, even I learned this in school, I used pure papaya cleanser for my exfoliation. And guys, remember, an exfoliation does not necessarily mean that it has to be scrubby. A lot of people feel like exfoliation is supposed to scrub. No, you can use AHAs, alpha hydroxy acids, which are going to include like lactic glycolic acids. But papaya is more of an enzyme, so that's another form of exfoliation as well. So you can use like a papaya soap bar. I know there's going to be some people that's going to be like, what? Especially some of the SDs that I work with are like, what is that? But if it's real papayan and it comes in a soap bar and you do your research, actually that's a good cleanser and exfoliation in one. And it's going to brighten the skin and exfoliate the skin from on an enzymatic level. So that's going to be good for you too. Not usually that expensive, probably about $10, and it'll last you long, and you can use it a minimum of twice a week. Again, your exfoliation is going to be twice a week. But again, if you're going to go for the more expensive products, like I've mentioned, travel size exfoliations, I love Dermalogica Daily Microfoliant, which has rice grains. A lot of people misuse it and they've said like it's harsh or it's hard. It's not supposed to be. When you mix the Dermalogica Microfoliant, it's supposed to look like a foam. So you mix it with water and you either put it in your hands or you can use a brush if you want to be fancy. And you can put it in a bowl with a little bit of water and mix it into a foamy consistency. So that's going to be how it's applied, foamy. So it shouldn't be a lot of scrub, maybe just a little, but not to the point where you're using it as a scrub. Sometimes people like that feeling, understandable, but you should not, it's not really supposed to be used that way. But you can, if you like, you would use less water and you would use a little bit more of the powder. So I love that one. And you have the small travel sizes, and a little goes a long way with that as well. As far as exfoliation, I kind of stick in that area when it comes to exfoliation. Just remember, always go for like the travel sizes and use a little bit. Next is going to be your toner. And I always tell people, use rose water. If you are not sure about if the toners are any good, or if you're not sure if it's going to be an ethically sourced toner, go for rose water. That's going to be the closest to your skin's pH. That's what's so good about rose water. It's very close to our skin's pH, which is a 5.5 pH. So go for that. But if you're going to go, I use Multi-Active Toner by Dermalogica if you're going to go for something that's a little bit more expensive. And then you have Image Skincare. I love Image because you don't really need a toner with their cleansers. They kind of have everything already in there, and it's going to be balancing your skin's pH. But I like to use it anyway. I like the way it feels. I don't like the tight feeling or just that kind of dry feeling after I wash my face. So that's what I use. But often I do use a rose water toner. Actually, I have one right here, and this is the Heritage Store Rose Water Cleanser. That's one of my favorites. I'm sorry, toner, excuse me, toner. That's one of my favorite rose water toners. I love it. And sometimes I even, like if I feel like my makeup looks a little dry, I'll just kind of spray it over my makeup. It just spray it on over your makeup. It'll kind of like hydrate your skin a little bit. And I also have the Dermalogica Hyaluronic Acid Ceramide Toner, which I've talked about before. This one is a lot more expensive. This one is like 50 bucks. But it works really well for like giving you like a glass skin glow. But if you're oily, you don't want to be using this one too much if you're already kind of oily. So like I said, if you're going for something economical, you can stick with the rose water, which is like $10. A great place to shop is going to be like your Sprouts Market to get more, I would say, more safe natural ingredients and more safe ingredients. And also, if you're concerned about ingredients, download the Yuka app, YUKA. I might try to link it in the description if I can. You can scan all of your skincare products on this app. A lot of people know about this, but some people may not, and make sure that these products are good products. And so we talked about the cleanser, the toner, the exfoliation, serums. I actually scanned the Good Molecules hyaluronic acid, and to my surprise, it was actually a good serum. So I recommend the Good Molecules. I don't know if it has too much hyaluronic acid. I know I've read the ingredients in the past when I used to work at Ulta, and it did not have a lot of hyaluronic acid, if any at all. What I did see was glycerin, and I was like, what is going on? But maybe I saw wrong, but I looked back and now it has hyaluronic acid. So I don't know. I don't know if they changed it or what, but it did come up well in the Yuka app. And then to my surprise, the ordinary hyaluronic acid, which I kind of do like. I know I've been like definitely criticized by my coworkers a little bit for using this, but that's the ordinary one. And I'm just saying, if you're on a budget and you need something, I feel like it's kind of better than nothing. But you could probably go for the what is it called, the good molecules, and you'll be good to go. Excuse me, I got a call coming in, hold on. So yeah, so those are good ones. And for your daytime protection, after you do your serum, you're going to do your daytime protection, which is going to be your SPF. And once again, CeraVe is one of my go-to SPFs that's not very expensive. But yeah, that's definitely going to be one, and a good way to kind of like make your SPF come out better and more hydrating for your skin is mixing it with your serums. So before you put your SPF on, make sure your skin is still damp. Because in school we learned that once the skin is still damp and you seal it in with your moisturizer and your and your serums, you prevent transepidermal water loss. So yeah, that's gonna be a really, really good one to use, and that's gonna be your CeraVe and Cetaphil. Those are good too, especially for sensitive skin. You can't go wrong with that. SPF, and you can mix it in. And a lot of people say that SPF is not good for the skin, or they feel like black people or darker skin people, people of color do not need SPF, but it's not true, because if you don't use SPF, you're going to start having premature aging. You don't want that. Wrinkles, hyperpigmentation, all of these things happen when you're not using SPF. So I highly recommend it. It's gonna be the foundation of all of your skincare. So yeah, that's gonna be the steps that you're gonna follow. If you want a better SPF, go for your physical SPF, which is going to be your zinc oxide and your titanium oxide. Those are mineral-based physical SPFs, and if you're even more concerned, use that Yuka app, scan it, make sure that it's a good one. Go to Sprouts, go to your farmers markets, go to your Whole Foods, so that you're getting a physical SPF that's gonna be more healthy for your skin, and that's gonna have better ingredients. So yeah, I hope this helps, and I will be back on here talking about more skincare tips and advice. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. Someone's trying to call me, but it was so nice coming on here again, and I hope to make more videos soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please support my channel, like my channel, share it with someone who might need some skincare help, and please subscribe.